me right now is the Toyota Crown Signia. This has just been revealed in LA, and yeah, we're going to take a quick look. I'm going to walk you through some of the specs, and we'll just check out some of the details. I'm Jill Ciminillo with Pickup Truck Plus SUV Talk, and let's take a closer look right now. If you are familiar with the Toyota Crown sedan, this shouldn't look completely unfamiliar to you because the front end is very similar and you have the squinty looking headlights, but I will say this treatment is a little bit more similar to the all-new Toyota Prius than it is to the Toyota Crown. But I think it looks really good, and overall, especially if you look at it from a side profile, it has a pretty sleek look to it. It's mid-size, two-row SUV, and something else to know is this is going to be hybrid. It is all hybrid. There is no gasoline powertrain for this vehicle, and it's also all-wheel drive only. So for the hybrid powertrain, the interesting thing that you will know is this is the 5th generation Toyota hybrid powertrain system, 2.5 liter 4-cylinder engine. It's going to deliver 243 horsepower. Now, we had speculated on the website that this might have the hybrid max powertrain, but at launch it does not. Now, what it does have, and this is really interesting, is it will have a flat load floor back here. And what that means is this will provide a flat 6.5 foot road surface. So both of those seats are going to fold flat, and yeah, that's pretty great if you need to go to Home Depot, if you're hauling things, if you need to go to IKEA and grab some furniture. But even if you put those seats up, as you can see, there is really a lot of storage space back here. And this is really generous. In the web article that I did on the pickuptrucktalk.com website, I talked about, well, what does this mean for the Venza? And the Venza, I think, is going to be a lot smaller. Now, I wrote that article before I had seen the Crown Signia in person, and they're both mid-size SUVs, but definitely the Crown Signia is bigger, and where you see that is going to be in the cargo area, and the second row seats folding flat is definitely going to be a big deal with that 6.5 foot load floor in the back, also a big deal. I see people hopefully coming out, so maybe we can pop inside and check out some of the features. All right, so coming into the front seat, I should point out this is supposed to be more of an upmarket vehicle. So you're going to have some leather seats, and you're going to have heated and cooled seats. You're going to have lots of screenage. I like to say screenage. So standard 12.3 inch gauge cluster, as well as a 12.3 inch infotainment system. And I noticed I didn't see it in the press materials, but maybe it was in the press materials. But the other thing that you're going to have is a rear camera mirror, and that makes sense because Toyota does put them in a lot of their vehicles. You're also going to have the newest Toyota infotainment system, which will have the Bluetooth connectivity with the wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and you're also going to have a standard wireless charger. So TBD on how we feel about that, because you know how I typically feel about wireless chargers in Toyota vehicles, but it looks like they've at least positioned it a little bit better and made it work potentially better than some of the slidey ones that they have. So you also will have standard power seats, and like I said, the digital cluster, digital display. Looking in here, I will point out you do have buttons for the HVAC controls, which is definitely welcome. So not everything is going to be housed within this screen. You have your cup holders to the side. You have USB-C charge ports in addition to the wireless charger. And you have, places to put things. So just at first glance, I would say that Toyota has done a really nice job with this vehicle, and I'm going to be looking forward to having the chance to test drive it Something I want to point out is these materials actually feel a lot more upscale than what we saw in the Toyota Crown, because I felt like in the Crown, like the dash materials really felt cheap, but this I'm going to say is probably the top tier trim. But I've seen the top tier trim of the Crown sedan, and everything just kind of felt a little bit cheap in there. And in this model here that we're taking a look at, things do not feel cheap. Somebody graciously, maybe I'll say graciously, put the rear seats down so you can see. Unfortunately, these seats are pushed up a little bit, so they're hitting the back of these seats, so it doesn't look like it's a flat load floor. But this is actually a flat load floor, and like I said before, it's 6.5 feet from here to the back, and that, as I mentioned before, is going to be the big difference between this and the Venza. So let's take a quick look in the second row. So these seats will have a release point in the back, so I don't know if you can see it, but there's a release point there in the rear cargo area, and then you also have a release point here to put them down, and wow, those actually go up really easily. So I certainly appreciate that. And this right here is interesting because this is what's going to fold out so that you will be able to have that flat load floor depending on how far up the seats are. So, all right, so we'll put that forward. You have rear air vents here. You have your USB-C charge ports here. Ooh, and black lacquer. I didn't notice that up front, but yeah, you've got black lacquer up front as well. So in terms of legroom, I feel like you have a decent amount of legroom, but of course you're going to need somebody taller to sit back here to really showcase that. And we'll just take another look from the back seat at the front because you get a better view that way. So the digital display, the infotainment system, the buttons, we appreciate the buttons. You're going to have the different modes. And I already mentioned that this is going to be hybrid only, all-wheel drive only. So you are going to have your EV mode, and it'll probably click into EV mode when you have enough battery charge, up to probably about 30 miles per hour. We don't have those details yet. This is just the reveal, just the launch, and a lot of the specifications will be revealed closer to the launch of this vehicle, which is going to be in the spring of 2024. This is a 2025 model. Available features, you're going to have this panoramic glass roof is going to be available. Front cross traffic alert is going to be available. What else? There's an up-level premium audio system that's going to be available. But really, there are only two trims, the XLE and the limited trim. And the idea is that this will be a more luxury-based SUV with more up-level features and more up-level content, just standard. So standard safety, standard digital display, standard technology. So all around, just looking kind of cool. Standard, again, standard all-wheel drive. So that right there is just a quick look at the Toyota Crown Signia, which is an all-new mid-size hybrid SUV from Toyota based on the Toyota Crown SUV. All right, that is all I have for you right now on the Toyota Crown Signia. So be sure to check us out on the web for more information, and I will see you down the road.